Tell me how it feels. Tell me how it feels. Speechless when I reach here, touching places they ain't seeing. Undiscovered destinations, spotting lighting center stages. Rip the locks up off these cages. Fly through doors, no time is wasted. Leaving doubt with who she came with. Space proceed the shading, like the distances regaining.
Like you're low-key animated. Like I feel like people wouldn't expect you to be as animated as you are.
Oh, I'm an animator.
Yes, you are.
I got animations coming soon.
I know, it's exciting. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, I've been plotting on doing anime for a while.
This is gonna be so good. I am such a big anime fan. But look, listen, what are these characters gonna look like? What are they?
And that's what I'm excited about. I mean, I illustrate very weirdly, and based on what I see in my other eyes. But I don't know. They're gonna be black.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, we're
already meeting with that first step.
They're gonna be people of color.
Yes.
And I'm working with some collaborators that are young people of color too, and you know, we're gonna depict a nice, different like worlds. I don't know. I'm really into like sci-fi and futuristic.
I love
like,
sci-fi and fantasy books.
Fantasy, adventure stuff, and like put them in worlds like that. And then like kind of like paint like what the kind of life that we've been living growing up as like people of color in like the present time. So just like going back and forth between that.
Well, I mean, we kind of already started the interview, but there's no need to, follow a certain format.
Fuck rules.
Fuck rules. But I'm sure our listeners would like to know who you are. What is your name?
My name is Astro King Phoenix.
What is your government name?
Y'all can't know that.
I know it. I'm not gonna tell y'all.
I'm gonna change it so nobody ever finds out.
Yeah,
it's cool. Nah, I'm still not gonna tell you.
You don't have to. I know it. I know it.
She knows it.
I did my research. I know
it's a secret.
Everything's a secret when it comes to Astro.
If I meet you ever and you're nice enough and you ask me, I could tell.
You may or may not tell that person.
I may not tell.
I'm gonna read a quote to you, and I want you to tell me what this means in relation to you as an artist.
Yes.
This is something that you wrote yourself. Okay. I am cosmic sound, exploring parts of self and journeying to other places through music and cinematography. What does that mean to you as an artist? As a creative, not necessarily an artist, but as a creative, because you do multiple things.
Well, I feel like I am tapped into the cosmos. So I feel like what I put out as a creative musically or in all mediums is kind of like it's for the world, but it's like for like everyone in like this like in the like universe and dimensions, like, not just like all like types of living beings here and far, and like so it's like a cosmic sound that people that are here and like other beings and other dimensions could like tap into. And so I just feel tapped into that. I feel like self, the inner self, that inner voice, that being on the inside of the vessel, like throughout life I've been like exploring different parts. I feel like it's has like parts of it that I've been able to tap into, more so like the dark and the light side, and like just exploring through those, and the journey through that has led me to like what I talk about in my music and like what I've been through and what I like to share.
If you could be any cartoon character, what would you be, or who would you be?
Any cartoon character ever?
Yes. Damn, I just asked him a intense question.
Man, I love so many cartoons, especially 90s. Dexter's Laboratory. I always felt like I was like Dexter.
Cartoon Network days.
I still plan on getting me a secret laboratory under my crib.
You always this is your secret lab.
This is my first little
secret lab.
But I guess if I had to be, it would be like a cross from like Dexter and like Afro Samurai, even though that was like anime. But I'm like a ninja. I'm like a cosmic ninja / like, lab technician. I don't really do the science, but I like all that, like all this magic. I cook brew some magic in my lab, and
Oh.
But yeah, and I'm samurai out here.
How have open mics helped you or contributed to developing you as an artist?
Open mics, I would say, I mean, I started out as a poet. I've always been like a young poet since like first grade. I've been writing since forever. But I used to like be able to perform writing like in middle school for like my class because my teachers would love that I was a really good writer. So, and then that kind of transitioned to like college when it's the only place where I was looking for places that I felt like I needed to like break this like stage fright thing. So I needed to get out here and like let people like feel I was like writing. But yeah, open mic like that helped me like get my confidence that I have been like missing out on, which is why I didn't really come out earlier. But yeah, open mics, like just getting out in the crowds and like letting people hear my words and like building confidence. And yeah, from college and then to like the UW open mic, that was the only one I've done in the city.
Shout out to Retro.
Yeah, shout out to Retro.
Started with that.
I did start with, that's the only one I ever done in Seattle, and I did two of those. And they were like two of my like first songs ever that I had created. But yeah, that's it just gave me mad confidence that some people like even like what I was saying in my words. And yeah.
When did you start writing? I mean, you started off with poetry. You started off, what did you say, doing spoken word?
Ooh, no, I actually never did spoken word. I was just a secret. I mean, just like
more
friends. Like one of my really best friends, Mike, like we've been writing like stories since like first grade. We write our own stories, and we always knew we wanted to be scholars.
First grade?
Yeah, I've been writing for a long time.
What kind of stories would you write? What would your imagination? Where would it take you as a kid?
As a kid, you know, they used to have these like the construction paper like journals where they put the little long ass line paper in the middle and staple the sides.
Yeah.
So like we would like get extras of those because we always finish our work early, and then we would like draw different like
cute.
different like alien weapons on one side and then like create a story just off of like the characters and weapons we were drawing. Just like weird shit trying to get out of school. I don't know. My mind always was somewhere else.
Did you watch like a lot of TV or films as a kid? Like, where did that come from?
I was just always an imaginative kid. I was always super creative and like didn't really like take what the world was giving me for like, you know, I just always wondered about other places and like why everything was why it was, even though I wasn't getting answers. So I kind of just searched for them on my own terms. Wow. But no, my mom was really strict. I didn't get to watch TV. I don't even really watch TV now. But
me either.
She didn't let me play video games unless my homework and shit was done.
How has education helped you, and impacted you in your work, like all forms of your art?
I would say I always thought doing music and film, I mean, they were always dreams of mine. But, like, I had a duty to, like, I mean, because I was a very, like a young genius. Like, just, I mean, school was super easy for me. But I just wanted to challenge myself to do things that I wasn't necessarily given chances to do, like my art and stuff like that. Because no one expected like that to like, it wasn't like, it was risky, and that's kind of what I'm doing now. But I just went through school to like, for myself, but for my mom, and I was like the first person like in my family to graduate college. So,
wow.
And you know, I got a lot of brothers. So I'm the second youngest, so I was the first one to graduate. So. And just and I had a scholarship, so I had to do that too. So I had to finish, and just to be an example for other like young men of color, but you know, young people of color that you know you could get your education.
Your mom did a good job.
So yeah, school just like it was a good way to like push through learning a lot and getting a degree, even though I wasn't planning on getting a job in it. But I needed to just get out of school, because you can't go to school. It's like a job and like do everything you want to do at the same time. Cause it takes so much of your time and of your life. So
your life.
It's years of your life
it's
away.
True.
So I had to like get out of school before I can like do what I wanted to do. The real world's outside of college.
It bites. That post-grad life, like Like, it's post college life sucks. Until you figure it out, it sucks.
This is true.
All right, kids, so keep that in mind.
Plan early. If not, then just get out here.
Exactly.
Get out here. Take those bites.
What's your favorite strain of ganja to cop at the shop?
I like indica, but like recently, it boils me down too much. Like, I
That's
don't.
what I'm saying. Like, most people like sativa.
Sativa's been cool because it's a little bit lighter. I've been smoking a little bit less, but I like to try the different strands and see what I like. I mean, there's too many strands in this new world of weed.
There's a lot of strains, man.
Before, when it was illegal, it was just like a few.
That's true.
Now it's just like it's a library of like, all right, well, I don't know, dude.
Give me what you think is good.
All these numbers on what's the best.
Right, exactly.
In my price range,
right.
bruh.
That's what
Like, take too
Tell
much.
Me why that's what Raven said. No, I think Do Normal. I think she said that yesterday. They were saying basically like getting whatever is like gonna give you the highest for the cheapest price.
Exactly. I'm not copping a lot.
Right.
I try to not even buy it. I usually just get in I stopped buying it a couple months ago. Now I'm just in. So many of my friends do it.
Exactly. So you already get it without having to pay for it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's endless out here.
I'm trying to get my brain cells back though. Yo, I'm in my books and I'm writing and I'm learning. I got programs to learn, so I'm like, I gotta smoke less. I got so much to teach myself. So,
good.
But I love weed.
How has Tupac and Jay-Z influenced you in your work?
Well, as a young poet, my brothers were gangster rappers in the early 90s here in Seattle, and that was very
What were their names that they went by? What were their stage names?
Little T Kid was my big brother, but shout out to Self-Titled, that was their group name. But they were here popping in Seattle. I mean, when I was younger in like the early 90s, mid 90s. But like, I just was influenced a lot by that as an early kid. So like Tupac was like, once I always listened to him, but music was so much harder to get as a kid, because you either had to buy the tape or the CD. There was no internet, like, you know. And if you're from the inner city, your parents aren't necessarily buying you this music. I got other shit to buy. So it's like hearing it on the radio and getting exposed to it little by little. Once I found out about his poetry book, then I was like, yo, because I didn't necessarily, I liked rapping, but I'm like, because I rapped as a kid too, I'm like, but this isn't something I necessarily feel like I want to talk about. Like, when I write my poetry, it's like different. But once I found out he wrote poetry, I'm like, yo, I could rap too, but I could just like, you know, it could just be my poems, like, you know, and I could be a poet and still rap at the same time. And that flipped it for me. And from then on, I knew it could be like a dream to be like, you know, a poet and still like rap and be like a way to communicate my words. It's still poetry to me, you know, but they just call the skill rapping. And he was like a very intellectual man,
smart,
you know.
He's
so
very smart, yeah.
That told me too that I didn't have to be like, no, not that rappers or any rapper is dumb or anything, but like, not too many are like as intellectual as Tupac. I could be smart and still be influential.
Exactly.
And you know, I can be a poet and still be influential to the people. And yeah, that was Pac. And Jay-Z I guess just everything he's done for music, from like where he's went from Def Jam and Rockefeller, and I was really into all of that, and how he's flipped it from streets and drugs to like him being business.
Straight
and like
business,
and still being able to like really kill everything that he's touched with music, but then really like take over a whole bunch of different business stuff. So as a young entrepreneur, I always like look at Jay-Z like, yo, I could like take my music, and I mean, one day I'm not gonna do music, but I can like take it and like dip into different avenues. As a young man of color, like I can do that because I see that happening.
What is your work relationship like with OC Notes? How did you meet him?
I met OC Notes, I believe, when I had just got back from college. I graduated 2013 in May, and I was in the city trying to get out here my film stuff, and I was doing some show stuff that I was filming, and I got introduced to OC one day at Numos, I believe it was a show, and we chopped it up, I believe, and I met him like just a few times throughout the year, and yeah, I think I don't know if I dropped something or not, but we ended up talking one day about film, and
Yeah, he's into that.
we ended up talking about doing a short film for him called Fish and Chips. And that was when I first like linked with him, and we was like, I'm like, all right, nah, bro, like, all right, let's do this, and I found out about his rap loops. That was the first thing that I've ever heard from OC. And I'm like, bro, you got 100+ beats in there, all fire, dog. And I found out his discography was just crazy. And then when I first started diving in, I'm like, bro, like you're like one of the best in the world. Like you're like a super genius. And his level of creativity and work and grind is just like way above so many people.
Mm-hmm.
And Fish and Chips came out really good. It's on the internet. Y'all should check it out.
I want to see that.
We had hella fun doing it. And then I asked him, I'm like, yo, bro, he heard, I think he might have heard some of my earlier stuff that I had that year. And I'm like, yo, let me get on this, and this off of Rap Loops. And we came out with my first like little mixtape project, 2014, off of his Rap Loop stuff. I rapped on it. I think it's called Space Pod Memories. And that was our first thing, and ever since that, and Fish and Chips, like he's been like a mentor and like a big homie, and I've built a lot with him over the last 2 years, and
he also produces with you as well.
Yeah. So I haven't put out anything that we've done. But Rap Loops was already his own stuff, so I just spit over it. But we low-key have something coming out something special brewing for the world. But yeah, OC's the god, and he's a very special being in the world. And yeah, he always pushes me creatively, and just like being able to see him and how he works, and like be in spaces and create with him, like has like always. 'Cause I push similar to how he pushes myself like creatively like that, and he always just a really good reminder, and about a lot of things that I'm doing in the world, and yeah, he believes in me, and that means a lot. And so I'm very grateful for the universe for me meeting in like OC. Like,
who's your favorite filmmaker?
I would say Spike as a early just but like where I'm at in my mind, I would say probably like a George Lucas, like a Spielberg more, or like those guys, as far as like what they've done and been able to create with, as far as like sci-fi and adventure stuff, because the stuff I can do on a street level with, as far as like what I would do as a street movie, I feel like I can like do that myself. But adventure sci-fi, I would need like a pretty cool budget, and most of my stuff I've written is pretty like outer world stuff, and just like seeing that and like, yo, I want to be able to do that. And I don't think there's too many examples of like young people of color or men of color or women of color that have like tapped into like that stuff on a big stage.
You grew up playing saxophone at the age of 6, correct?
Yeah, like 6 or 7.
6 or 7. What other instruments do you know how to play, or at least you want to learn?
I want to teach myself how to play piano pretty soon. I have a guitar that is a year old. It's in here, but I haven't opened it yet.
What?
I wanted to make sure I got my vocals together, because I'm planning on. I got
vocals together. As he said.
Some acoustic like rap sing stuff.
They're not ready for
coming
that side of
soon.
Astro, I don't think.
But yeah,
They're not ready for
guitar, guitar and the piano for sure are things I want to be able to play, and I'm gonna start playing saxophone again when I can afford one. Guitar, now that I'm kind of into the keys and stuff. Like I could pluck something and sing something. Probably just wait the plots, these secrets. Live instruments is the thing though. That I don't want to be able to play them to add when I start creating my own sounds, and when I hopefully in the next like year or so get like a live band, like then I want to be able to like, yo, okay, bring my shit out too, like let's jam out, like just some shit that I want to do.
Are there certain instruments that you would like on your live band that's not typical, other than like percussion, bass?
If I can afford it, harp player.
Ooh.
But I love the harp.
Ooh, we weren't ready.
I think the harp would be
wow.
so
I wasn't ready for that. I want to talk about one of your projects, which is I'm trying to say it right. Aurum Silentium.
I think it's Silentium. That's how.
Silentium.
Yeah.
And all the names are almost like another language. I was trying to figure out if it was like Latin based or what.
It is Latin.
Yeah, I'm in there. I was like, I think this is Latin. Like every single track had a different like Latin.
Yeah, they're all in Latin.
That's dope. What was your inspiration behind that?
I always wanted to. I'm not sure if Latin is the language of the dead or not, but I always wanted to learn Latin, and so
Why?
Well, just because I think language is a way to. That's the only way to communicate with the world, and you know, it is a power to harness, and I want to teach myself or learn so many languages. It's the only way I could communicate with more people around the world. Like English is cool, but if I could speak Latin and these other languages,
the base of so many Romance languages.
Yeah, I could tap into more people if I. So I'm just thinking, and I had gold silence has always been a theme of something I've been like coming out with as far as like my music and me being like. I feel like I've been preparing for this, but I've only been out in the world for like a year. So it's like gold silence, like it's been silent, but it's like gold. I just, at the same time. But I just wanted to figure out how to like I wanted to see what it looked like in Latin when I put gold silence and it was Aurum Silentium. I was like, oh, that's filthy.
It just sounds so dope.
Tap in. You could tap in. You're gonna have to separate those words. Like I had song names and I'm like, okay, well, I just looked up the different names and I had to like put them together in a certain way and yeah, I'm like, yo, they're gonna have to look and I wanted people to do research. Like I feel like research is a good thing, and people are gonna try to say these words
and struggle
and you're gonna not know what they mean, but if you want to know what the title means, you gotta look it up.
I like that.
So I just wanted to take people on a little journey while we're going on a journey in the music, like,
Look at me. It connects the dots in terms of like you've challenged yourself academically and you've challenged yourself creatively, so you're like, why not challenge my listeners?
Right. That's
you
it.
weren't ready. You played basketball throughout school. What was that like for you? Did you feel like you had to battle between basketball and that influence of basketball and your artistry, or no?
It's a story. It's such a story. Shout out to Luna God too on Aurum, because that's the homie and he produced it. But basketball, I've been playing basketball since like elementary or like middle school when I started. And as a scholar, basketball was something that kept me off the streets in Seattle. Growing up in the Central, a lot of my friends, we all grew up here basketball kept me from like running, even though I still ran a little bit, but kept me in the gym. Like I was like another home for like, a struggling kid in the inner city. So like, and like people believed in me. So I like just kept it, and it was something that just kept me kind of a little stable and away from doing other things that I might have did if I didn't play basketball. And I was just a gifted athlete. And I didn't get a hoop scholarship out of high school, but we were really good. I went to Chief Self. We were a really good team.
Chief Self, shout out.
Shout out Self, Seahawks. But I had an academic scholarship, and I chose not to go to these bigger schools and private schools because I wanted to like test the universe. And at the time I wasn't really tapped in just yet. but I wanted to like test it to see if I could like. I know I'm smart enough to make it through school. School's nothing, but let me see if I can like go this route that isn't necessarily for me, which is basketball. Because if I make this could be so much easier. And I just wanted to try that out before I did film and music, and it led me down a path of like this weird miracle of me getting hurt and I couldn't play anymore around my junior year. And so I was very sad because I had to quit because I wasn't able to like physically play anymore because I didn't know what was going on with my hip, but I ended up having bone on bone, so I couldn't like run or jump anymore. I wasn't allowed once I found out.
Oh wow!
So that was 2012, and they're like, "Yo, you can never play basketball
so that's
again."
What led to this recent.
Well, I was already writing, and I was always writing, but like when I quit basketball in 2011, once I found out that team I was playing for in Portland was like greasing me so hard, I was so filthy, and they weren't playing me on purpose because he didn't really like me like that, and I'm from Seattle. He thought I was too swaggy, thought I was too cocky, so he didn't want to play me.
They don't want you to win.
They don't want you to win. They don't. Especially when you come from Minnesota to Portland and they don't want you to play. They don't want you to play. Shout out to LC, my Pioneer homies. They were filthy too. But yeah, after that, it hurt my heart. I feel like my dream was like, one dream was like killed. Like when you have a dream killed, it really hurts. But God had a plan. It was like, yo, because I wasn't able to do everything that I'm doing now if I was still playing basketball because I gave all of my time to that. And so once I figured like, yo, okay, this dream's out of the way. What about, I still have all these other dreams in the, you know, that were just waiting on me. So then I just start focusing more on my music and film and everything. And, you know, I've been pushing that. So I just had to get that other dream out of the way. It wasn't ever for me, but I just tried it. And sometimes you flow against the universe and then they'll let you know this isn't for you. And that's just what it was.
I really, really love that you explained that the way you did, and that you like learned from something that hurt. And a lot of people take pain and they just hold on to it and they don't know how to turn it into something positive or to look and realize like there's a reason that bad happens. Right. It's not to hurt you necessarily, it's really to make you better. What drew you to work with Mac Ned, who's a really young rapper here in Seattle? As a producer, he's worked with you and produced with you on, I think it was your second album that you put out. It was
like a little EP. It was like the second little EP that I came out with. Mac Ned is, I've been knowing Mac Ned for a long time. Since we went to South too. Yeah. Shout out to Ned. So I wouldn't consider him the little bro anymore, but he was a little bro. But that is family though. I would consider him family. Yeah, while I was in school and like, I mean, we low key were in the same program too, and he finished his program and then like was out here while I was still in school and was with the Moore Gang and dropping and when I first got out of school and he already had his platform and he had been killing it, and he is young but he's been grinding at the beats and his shit for a minute too. Very smart kid. Very smart. Young man now. But yeah, I know, I keep forgetting he's not young, like he's not a baby anymore. He was so young. He started young, like you mentioned 14, but I want to say he started a little bit earlier maybe. I don't think he started cooking music till a little bit later, and I mean, cause I think he was skating before. I'm not sure if I didn't know him to be making beats until like he got out of high school. Or like around his senior year, freshman year of high school, he was cooking, cause he was in school and he was letting me know that he was doing music, and I'm like, all right, filthy bro, okay, wait to hear it. But yeah, when I got out of school, I got here, I didn't really have any beats like that because nobody really knew about me. And I got with Ned on some stuff I heard on SoundCloud when I first got introduced to SoundCloud. This is just still 2013. Yeah, this is still... Well, I mean, I started using SoundCloud in like 2010, 2011. Damn, I didn't even know it was out then. It was out there, man. I was on SoundCloud like since I started college, and I was like obsessed, hooked. Like I couldn't let go. I was like, is this real life? Like there's so many gems and talented people on there. So SoundCloud has been around for a minute. But go ahead, 2013. Yeah, he had, well, was it 2014 I put it out? Yeah, I think it was 2014 that I put it out. He had some beats that I heard, and I'm like, bro, you're not trying to let me rap over those. And he was like, yeah, bro. And he put me on with those, and I spit some crazy shit over him. And I'm like, bro, you're not trying to let me put these out as an EP. And he was like, yeah, bro, of course. And
He was just down for whatever.
Yeah, because that's fam, and it was all love. So I just put it out on the internet. I don't think it's on there anymore. Because that year was like, it was like a bunch of EPs that I dropped. I dropped like 10 EPs. It was like my coming out.
Oh my gosh, 10. Oh, I'm aware of this. This is true. You did do that. You did do that.
It was just something to just like push myself creatively, and then kind of, I didn't think people weren't paying attention necessarily, but it was just like to show myself and to show whoever was looking at it, I could like, this is where my creative output is at. Like I can drop something every other week, pretty much, and do that for like 16 weeks, and I just took it all down afterwards. But
just to do
it was just fun.
It was more for you, if anything.
Yeah, it was for me, and it was just something special. I felt like it was experimental, but I wanted whoever was paying attention to, you can get it, but like after this is over, I'm just gonna take it down. So it was like a special thing. Yeah, it was a special thing. If you didn't get it then that's all gone now.
Are there any artists or creatives, I want to kind of broaden the mediums, but any creatives that you admire and you would like to work with?
I could name all of the homies. I feel like all of the homies I have are who I really do believe in, and I think are very, very, very dope creatives in this world. I don't know if I should name. There's so many of them. There's so many people that I haven't even met yet that I feel like I will be like connecting with eventually and want to like do stuff with. But
name 3.
Name 3?
Yes.
I
do this to people sometimes. I don't know.
There's so many. There's so many people. There isn't so many people, but I guess just because I would love to work with Kanye someday. It's just because
on a lot of people's list.
It's just because I feel like I'm a little crazy, but I'm like a smart crazy.
Right.
And it's cool to be smart crazy.
Oh, easy.
I feel like if I ever wanted to learn how to make beats, I felt like I wanted to learn from Kanye, and that was just my whole thing. And Kanye's done crazy shit, but I can't think about it. But I got some homies that I am creating with that I do admire.
Okay, like you're based out in Seattle?
Based in Seattle. We have so many dope artists and creatives here just in our own city.
Yes, we do. We're trying to put Seattle on the map.
Yeah, we got and I think that is just a thing to connect and build, because the world deserves to see everybody that's dope here.
Much agreed. Much agreed. Everybody can win.
Everybody can win.
Everybody can get their shine on. There shouldn't be any competition in that way. But
yeah, but shout out.
We live in.
That's not how we're living. But shout out to Malcolm Proctor. He's a homie of mine and collaborator on Wolf Deluxe. He's a very dope painter. He films, he writes, and he does different art mediums. And yeah, bro he keeps me on my toes creatively too, because he can do so many things, and I admire his push in what he's trying to like put out in the world with his art and his message. And who else? Darn. Shout out to all the homies. Y'all know who you are. Yeah, I'm always inspired and motivated by creativity and creations, and everyone creates differently. And
this is true. Everyone sees differently, have different lenses, different experiences that shape the way that they work.
Yeah, we're all different worlds, and I'm honored to like even connect or like explore worlds with other worlds, and I think that's really cool.
What is your vision and mission for the entertainment industry? Because I feel like, well, you have so many different things you do, so I want to make it all inclusive and be entertainment and not just one thing, which is music, because you do more.
My mission is to always be a really good example of someone that is creating what they see and want to put out in the world, regardless of what others think, and just to be an example of like, yo, you don't necessarily have to do what other people want you to do, and you can teach yourself how to do things. Like, you know, you can. Knowledge is limitless, so I'm gonna be examples of all that in what I do. So many things, and keep taking on so many things, because like I want to do all this stuff and I love to do all of it, and you can do it too. And as far as music goes and film, like just planting messages that I in other minds to like whether or not they grow or not, like, but they can grow, and then they'll think about what I'm saying or question. It's all about question and answer. Like if you question, the more you question, then you know, the more you want to know, and kind of just like open minds and open hearts, especially in this crazy world. And a lot of people are closed-minded and closed-hearted, and you know, I'm just trying to drop seeds and messages in different mediums and just get people thinking and dreaming. And you know, I want people to be creative and influence people to dream more. And you know,
I appreciate
that's
that.
the mission. Dream on.
Mission. Major keys. Where can people find you in terms of your music, your art, your film, all that, all the above? Where can they find you, Astro King Phoenix?
I mean, currently you can find me on SoundCloud under Astro King Phoenix, and I have a few. My first, dang, it's so early. I literally have my first 2 projects are on Bandcamp. I only have 2. It's only been like a year or so on Bandcamp. And then, you can always hit me up on social media. Film-wise, I have some stuff with the homie Porter Ray, and me and Malcolm Proctor have done little short films for him, and they're on YouTube. And I have films coming out this year with my collaborators, Mike, shout out Devlin, Dinish, and we're gonna get some stuff jumping in the world. I can't tell you where it's gonna be at yet, but hopefully some film festivals, hopefully some theaters. We know we're trying to plot it out. And catch me at shows too. I don't know, you got to be looking to know, unless you're with me on social media. But if you're looking, I've been performing all year, so come out. I always got some new stuff.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You have been very, very humble and open, and you're quite a fun person to be around. So I appreciate that.
Body in Osaka, you can't touch me or the Blanca. Throw you in with poppers, leave you frying while I'm flying to Horizon. Talk to Maki, buttons jamming off the sake, spinning tea without the Rocky. Floating past Apollo to the flowers, I am Ali. Buzzing bounce with Uchiwali. Out the jungle, can you follow all the pieces from the model? Earn a check to Zerbiak, shooting maps will swallow. Earn respect, I journey flex, switching portals, hit then toggle. Back to castle, genie bottles, spoon bin in gelato. Ice and cream, that's what hablamos. Tops reminding dreams are almost living bigger than the chronos. Cradles, halos, roll Jumanji. Holes are black, the stars are sloppy. Matter red and saucy, in the end the story soggy. Probably couldn't read it.